WEMF.
What up, Internet? It's Wednesday, the 7th of February, 2018. It's just after 7 p.m. at WEMFradio.com, so it's time for Attention Deficit. I am James Corbett. I'm here, as always, with my co-host, Joe Buckley.
You sound very, like, late-night radio hosty right now.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I'm a little whacked out on Dayquil. So
I'm not going to lie, dude.
You know,
it makes your voice sound silky smooth right now.
I appreciate the shit out of that. Well, anyway, we're here with Sarah Martin tonight. Sarah, say what's up.
Hey, what's going on?
Not much. Thank you for being here.
It is little David Allen Boucher. Like, here's some nighttime magic.
Bedtime magic.
Attention Deficit. Welcome.
No, move up on the mic, Sarah.
Oh, okay. Here we go.
My bad. That was our producer, Mikey Shake. Shout out to Mikey Shake. Thank you, sir. Just watching out for us, that's all. Checking the levels and whatnot. So what's up? How's things? I'm just going to dump it right in your lap.
Hang on, I forgot to ask. It's you guys, but is there any restrictions on what I can say?
Fuck, no.
Oh, good. Yeah, no, it's just fucking Wednesday and raining.
Yeah, you're goddamn right, it's Wednesday.
Yeah.
Sloppy today.
Hump
Sloppy,
day.
Slushy, crappy today. I'm not a big fan of that stuff.
Nor am I, especially not. I work pretty much outside, more or less. It's an outdoor, type job. And so today was miserable. I'll be honest with you.
You look like an outdoor guy. You don't work in a cubicle, James?
You can't keep him indoors. Look at him.
I went out on a date with a girl from Bumble one time, and I was wearing like a red flannel. I had like a huge beard at the time, and she was like, "You look like you belong in the mountains," And I laughed at that really
Or
hard.
brawny paper towels.
Legit, I look like the
that they sell.
Sidekick on Tool Time.
Yeah, what's his name? Al Borland.
Yeah.
I love that.
I don't think so, Tim. Is there a knockoff of the Brawny Man? You'd be the Ocean State job lot.
Whatever. That's a good call. Ocean State job lot. I like that.
Yeah.
BJ's brand.
For the record, Ocean State job lot, not that bad.
Solid
Solid
shopping
store.
experience. Yeah.
Every so often you run into a couple gems. It's just having to go there. That's the
right. Anytime you got like a cookout or anything like that. Are you familiar with the job lots, Sarah?
Oh, I love job lots.
Yeah.
I go there now that Building 19's been closed.
Touche. There you go. See, Building 19. See, I was too young for Building 19.
Yeah, well, wait.
I only remember
where are
as
you from,
toys.
Sarah?
I live in Walpole, Massachusetts.
Okay.
So there was one right there.
Yeah.
But
Because I feel like Building 19, those I remember there was one in New Bedford.
Right.
We went to UMass Dartmouth. That was Building 19. That was the first time I'd ever heard of it.
Really?
Because it's not one like...
they had a sign outside. It was a sausage. It go, "You never sausage a place." And I was like, oh my God, I love Building 19.
Wow.
And they're terrible
Oh
puns.
my God.
They'd mark stuff down from like 35 cents to be like, it's now 19 cents. I'm like, yes.
That is a world-class terrible pun.
Yeah.
Touche.
I don't know. Did you steal that sign?
I wish I got that sign. Someone must have gotten to it before me.
That's great. And so this was in Walpole, there was one?
Norwood, yeah.
Okay. See, the one I remember was in Taunton.
I don't remember that.
There was one in Taunton. And I just remember because I was so young. How old are you, Sarah?
I'm 30.
Okay, yeah, so I'm 29. So we're
Same thing.
I remember it
How
as
did
being.
you not go to Building 19?
That's right. I remember it as being like a cheap it was like a toy store.
Oh, you went to real stores.
No, but it was like a toy store for like those like CVS toys. You know what I mean? Like it had like
Building 19. I don't know. I'm saying I don't think there was one near me. And then when it was there, I was like, oh, this is great for when you're in college.
It was by the Taunton Mall.
We need something to like sit on. Like you just go there.
Right.
You need anything whatsoever. It was just complete.
Yeah.
Pieces of crap. It was
just
great.
the misstitched things, like instead of gut hoops, it's like gut hops. Like, yeah, I do. I need this hat.
That's awesome.
It's you know what? It's like when you go to like Modell's or remember MVP Sports?
Oh,
I used to love MVP Sports.
Yeah.
But every so often you'd run into like a jersey, like you said, that was like a little off stitch, but you're like, screw it, it's damn near the same thing.
Right.
Or they'd have all the player that just got traded, and they'd all be like, well, I liked him when he was here, so I'm grabbing it for $10. Thank you.
They would have had all the Hernandez jerseys.
Yeah, right.
And like 2018 Super Bowl champs, Pats. Yeah.
19-0.
Yeah, you got to go to Ghana to get those.
Hey now. You know.
Lucky children.
Yeah, right.
Hey, they got a rare piece of memorabilia.
True. That is very true.
Yeah.
Toms and memorabilia. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Actually, think about it. That's kind of as a Pats fan. Do you think there's a lot of Pats fans there? Because we've lost quite a few Super Bowls now.
I was just about to say, I appreciate you rocking that fucking Pats hat tonight.
Yeah.
That's a true fan right there.
I can't bring myself to do it. Not this soon.
Yeah.
You know, I gotta wait. You know, I've been busting out the Celtics and Sox and Bruins.
I've been living in denial. Yeah. No.
Oh yeah. Now, what do you guys think about all these rumors about, like, you know, Belichick might want to go and all this other shit? I don't know. I don't know.
He's not going to speak on it.
I don't know what
sure.
That's why I'm asking you guys, because who the fuck knows?
This whole McDaniels thing staying definitely raises some eyebrows as to maybe there's something going on here. That got my attention. All the rest of it, I was like, I don't believe a word of any of this drama.
He was so adamant. He was like, I'm going. I'm out the door. I don't know if you heard about that today.
Oh, I did hear about that.
He's staying. Okay, yeah. So that.
Well, what's so funny is this Butler thing, and everyone's saying like what could have happened, and then he's denying any allegations of missing a curfew or anything like that, and then they're saying they told him like 5 minutes before the game that he wasn't playing. And he's denying that it was like anything disciplinary action or anything like that. Like Belichick said, it wasn't.
Right.
So it's one of those scenarios where you're like, who do you believe? You don't know.
And
like, people are blaming Belichick.
Suck your dick, McDaniels. He'll stay that whole next season.
I don't know. I don't know who to believe in this scenario at all.
Nor do I.
But
yeah, I don't know.
Whatever,
dude. How about motherfucking Nick Foles, and not even more than him is who's the head coach of Philly? The
Peterson.
Was that his last name?
Doug.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Doug, yeah.
Now he
kept hearing
he's got a brass ball bag on him though for calling that same flea flicker that Brady dropped. And then they score the touchdown on it.
Yeah, similar plays.
I love that, dude.
That was on fourth.
I really love that. That was a big deal. I really love that call right there.
They were just copying our entire playbook the whole time, but actually pulling it off.
Right. That's a good call. Burr was on Conan a couple nights ago, or something. I think it was Monday. Yeah, I think it was Monday night.
Wow.
And he said something like Collinsworth couldn't stop talking about this call. What's Collinsworth? Such a piece of shit. And then he's like going on and goes, "What a great call!" Blah blah blah. And then Burr goes, "Dude, we just called that like a drive ago." Like the same exact play, but then they just did it. It's like I've never seen that before in my life.
Right.
It's like, dude,
he couldn't even be unbiased. You know what I mean? He hates New England.
Nobody is, dude. Nobody can be unbiased when it comes to New England. The only people that pick New England to win games are like former Patriots that are now on TV, like Brewski and Harrison and Moss.
Yeah.
Everyone else hates our guts. And rightfully so. I'd be sick of us, too, if I wasn't from here.
I agree.
I would be so sick of us.
I still wish Romo was the one who announced the game because he is funny. He is so funny.
I don't know if he's funny as much as he's just like, he's new. Yeah. So I kind of enjoy it because he's new, because it's like you get tired of the same. You get tired of Chris Collinsworth. You get tired of Phil Simms.
Yeah.
You get tired of guys like that, and then or like Randy Cross. Joe Buck is the worst.
Yeah.
He is the absolute worst. I can't say. I went to the World Series.
Show him every week. It's horrible, dude.
When people started calling me that, like Joe Buck wasn't quite a thing yet. Like he announced some games, and then when he got
we called you Buck a long time. Yeah, a long time ago.
But then it came Joe Buck, and then Joe Buck became bigger because he was so terrible.
Right.
And then it's like, oh great. It's like, it's like, whatever.
So that's your biggest credit is like you're this bad that everyone is
right.
To talk
Everyone
about
knows who you are. It's like snakes on a plane.
You're synonymous with painful mediocrity.
Yeah.
No
that was the best part about going to the World Series was the fact that I didn't have to listen to the broadcast. I was like, I'm watching it live. I don't have to listen to Tim McCarver and Joe Buck.
Right.
And none of the people talked about that. The Red Sox beat St. Louis on Tim McCarver's last game, and Tim McCarver used to play for the Cardinals and hates the Red Sox. And that was the last game he got to call.
Wow.
Was watching his old team get beat by the Red Sox.
I love to hear shit about that.
It was the best thing ever. I'm like, I am so happy it ended like this for him.
That's
like
great.
His pathetic career.
Oh, my God. And people
his pathetic career. He's a Hall of Famer.
Touche.
I could have done better.
Yeah. I mean, whatever.
Now, you know what I never thought about, though, like, really, is we really are, we're kind of the Yankees of the NFL. You know what I mean? Which
Well, yeah, we've had our run
now,
for sure.
Yeah, I'm like, damn, that kind of does suck, doesn't it?
I think we got to up the obnoxious, to be perfectly honest, because it's coming to an end. So if there was ever a time we got to ramp it up, we got to get our licks in now, because there's going to be a time, and it's coming soon.
People are already saying, like, next year. And I'm like, dude,
people have been saying next year for the last 10 years, dude. It hasn't happened.
I don't fucking know, man. Well, it happened last year. I mean, it did work, but
dude, here's the other thing.
No, I'm talking about Brady.
Right?
They're already,
but when is he going to call it quits?
No,
another 10 years.
No, I'm saying people are saying, like, don't worry, next year we're going to be back in the Super Bowl, and I'm saying I don't know, dude. Like, I think that might be the last time that he sees a Super Bowl.
No, absolutely not.
You don't think so?
No, I don't. I don't think so.
All right.
And I think this is something that gets lost on Patriots fans. People talk about Belichick in a negative way, or they say, like, is it over and all this stuff. We went to 7 straight AFC Championship games. Okay, we've been in the playoffs how many times in a row? Like, just the playoffs.
Right.
The NFL, coaches in general, their job is to put players in a situation to let them to make them win. Like, that's their only job.
Right.
And we put ourselves in the playoffs every year, which means we give ourselves an opportunity to win a championship every year. And that's all it is. It's just like a level of probability. That's all Belichick looks at it. It's like, as long as we get to the playoffs, we have an opportunity. As long as we get to the AFC Championship, we have a better opportunity. As long as we get a Super Bowl, we have another opportunity.
Yeah.
And that's really all it is. You put your players in a position to win a football game, and that's all your job is. And he does that year in and year out. So the fact that we lost the Super Bowl this year, it was like, oh, is it over? Oh, it's like, no, dude. Like, when people say we'll get him next year,
right,
that's usually a loser thing to say. No, that we will. We'll see you next year. We're going to be there again, and we'll probably be there another year after that.
I'm saying Tom Brady. Dude, I think that whoever Belichick gets, he's going to be incredible. He's going to mold them into, the perfect quarterback, obviously. But I'm saying for Tom Brady, dude, like, I don't know. Wasn't he on a 1-year contract?
I think he just restructured his contract all the time just to take less money so the team's better, because he is the greatest human being on the face of the earth.
So right now though he's still slated to
He's a close second to Paul Newman. I've talked about Paul Newman numerous times.
I'm laughing so hard. I know how highly
as
you think
being
of him.
the perfect.
He donates stuff from all of his products.
This man has lived a perfect life.
Right.
He really did.
Right.
He honestly did. He was a race car driver, a war veteran, a movie star, a freaking what are they called? When you donate a lot? Philanthropist. This his legacy lives on forever. He's Cool Hand Luke.
He's a beast. That's true. All right.
Yeah, I'm sick of looking at his face, though. They could definitely change that branding.
I don't know.
His frozen pizzas taste like shit.
I've never had the pizza.
I've never had the pizza, but the
marinara. You fuck with the marinara sauce?
The lemonade. The dressing.
Oh, the
iced tea, dude. The iced tea lemonade mix. Come on, second to none. Anna Palmer can't even come close to what he puts out.
Your face was fucking priceless right there. I'm so glad we have this shit on camera now. I gotta find that.
I stand by my man.
That is hilarious.
I stand by my man.
That is hilarious. No, just that look was fucking priceless, man. No, I gotta look up Brady's contract.
He was just a badass. He was just a complete, he was. You know what?
I wish you had that song queued up, but Stand By Your Man.
You know how much money it would cost to play that on this fucking show? Yeah. Oh my god.
I'm just happy he's dead, so like a scandal can't come out about him, and I'd be like, I got to retract everything I've ever said about him.
Right.
You know, so I'd be like, by the way, that charity is filtering money to the Nazis.
The new thing today was Scott Baio, and I was like, can we just not give credit to Charles in Charge ever again?
Wait,
Scott Baio? Who cares?
He's out grabbing titties. He's out grabbing titties, you mean?
Apparently. I saw a brief glimpse of it on the TV. I was like, oh, that's who they're trying to take down today.
Damn.
Like,
when
take him down?
I know.
What?
I was like, he's trying to have relevance.
Yeah, you need to knock him down a
peg.
If anything, that's going to bring him back up.
I know.
He's gonna end up
that's a bad press is good press scenario for Scott Baio. He's probably like, they're talking about me.
He's going to end up the creator of Celebrity Sex Rehab. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
I've been saying, dude, that's a show waiting to pop.
Yeah.
There you go,
man. You better patent that right away.
Next
there's a Dr. Drew probably right now. Dr. Drew's just like, here we go. I just need one more for 8, a group of 8.
Right. None of us tell anyone.
No.
What would they do in that house if they all had to live together?
Oh my God, that's Sarah, you're writing the show already. love it.
They have like maybe like the hottest maids they can possibly have in the house,
Right.
just to be like, we're sending out a test today. Let's see if he passes.
That's
And
hilarious.
they're like, maybe or maybe don't need citizenship. We're not sure yet. But
Oh man, that would be awesome. I would watch that show.
That is right. I will create that show. As a matter of fact, let's do it.
I
But
think
got
a lot of people
hold
would
on.
frown upon that.
What
But you
was
know
it?
what?
The oh no. But so when did this happen though? When was the alleged incident? Is this like an '80s thing, or was this like?
No, I think it was an 80s thing. I was not
Okay.
paying attention too
Okay.
close. I was just like, Scott Baio, why is he on TV?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know.
Well, there was a
Like,
thing there
oh,
when he
he's
was
touching people too.
There was a thing there where he was endorsing Trump, and people were like, Scott Baio is endorsing Trump. I'm like, why don't you get somebody relevant? Why is this in it? Why is this a thing for people? Like, he
Right.
introduced him. Didn't he introduce him at like a rally or something? He was like, I'm standing by this. And everyone's like, okay, great,
Right.
Scott.
Yeah.
Is this someone else you want to bring up? Well, anyway.
Hey, thanks, Chuck.
Right?
Sit down, why don't you? That's hilarious. Though.
Has there ever been like I am always fascinated by like people who are like massively big and then just fall off beyond belief. Like how crushing that must be. Like Scott Baio could not have been bigger, could not have slept with more women, and then like now he's a joke. Like, and that must just be devastating to like your psyche, or like I think what's more impressive than like any one accomplishment like someone has is sustainability. Like in a career in entertainment is way more respected than like if you win an Oscar and you got like hot one year and you were great and then you disappeared. You know what I mean? But if you're like Paul fucking Newman, like
I was waiting for it. I was fucking waiting for it.
again, I'm just gonna do everything I can just to revert everything back to him this entire podcast. But I always think that's like cool. We talked about Pauly Shore once.
Yeah,
At one point, he was, you know,
the face of comedy.
yeah, the comedic actor of the world, and
Yeah.
now, like, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
just he's almost like a running, like what could be like a running joke, like, oh, I'm not in a Pauly Shore movie or like something like that. You know what I mean? Must be so bizarre.
Now, can I interrupt you guys?
Sure.
I found what I was looking for.
Okay,
All right. Now he's got a 2-year extension coming up.
$10 million a year.
Not even. I didn't even look at that. I'm just talking about the just strictly logistical, not even financial shit.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So they got some shit to sort out in the contract, but according to Brady, he says you are going to see me playing football next year.
Yeah.
So they're gonna figure. Okay. But I know that he could leave right now if he wanted to. And
Dude, we were talking about the
could,
Tom versus Time thing. All this is to sell his brand and his book and his whole eating regimen.
Yeah.
And so long after he's gone. That's
He's
how.
gonna come out
Yeah,
with his
you know
own
what?
brand of like Himalayan salt and shit.
Yeah,
Like,
I
yeah.
really think he's gonna.
Yeah,
for sure.
I agree. I totally.
And
yeah,
he could
I
sell
hope-
it. I mean, he's gonna be.
I mean, it's Tom fucking Brady. You might be touching magic.
It could happen, dude. People are gonna smoke that Himalayan salt. I hope something happens.
The Himalayan bath
Is this
salts.
crystal meth? Yeah.
No, but I bet though I'll bet you a fucking testicle that if he had won the Super Bowl this year, he would have left.
No, I don't think he would have.
You really don't think?
You know
that?
why? Because
Better hope time travel's not invented.
Shit.
I just think
I
if
want to see
you're-
that played out in a simulator somewhere. You know.
your level of competition, like it's great to go out on top, but the reason why he played this year was like, I can win back to back. I can win another one.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then
Right.
if you won back to back, you'd be like, I could win a third in a row.
Oh,
Then
yeah,
I'm
okay,
like,
yeah,
What
yeah.
quarterback has done that?
All right.
What quarterback's won 3 in a row? Like I could win a
But he
third
already
title in a
did-
row.
They already went back to back once.
I mean,
so.
I did on
Yeah,
Madden.
but I mean,
You know?
I could do it again.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like when Jordan came back and he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna leave." Like you didn't think it back of his head. He was like, "I just three-peated again."
I
Like,
would have been happy
Yeah.
enough.
Yeah,
I think
twice.
I think he would have been happy enough saying, "I have 6 titles now." Okay, that's 2 hands, bitch. Right?
Yeah.
And 4 of those 6 were back-to-back
I don't-
championships.
Yeah,
I think
it's
he would've
really
been
cool.
I think he would have been okay.
I don't think he would have done it. I think he would have came back.
Damn.
Definitely.
I think he
3 in a
would've-
row,
I
dude.
just, I
bounced.
wish that I wish that was the case.
That
It
would
was
be-
just like, hey, let's go out on top.
That
Let's
would be
not
unreal.
pull a Brett Favre. Let's not do
Yeah.
this bullshit.
Yeah.
It's cool. Like I love it when someone does go out on top. It is the right way. I don't know. I guess it's the right way. But
just
then
the
again, dude,
most
I'm thinking of it's like
satisfying, yeah.
if you were like a really good business person or something like that, and you were like, I just made $1 million. You know, it'd be really cool. $2 million. You know, really cool. Like,
Yeah, you know
that's
what?
what people. But that's how they're as successful as they are. Is Brady's like, hey, if I win back to back here, you know what else would be great? Winning 3 in a row.
Right.
I want to win 4 in a row. Like
this,
you know what I mean?
This is the NFL. I think you're right. I think that probably would be the case. You know, he'd be like, yeah, fuck it. I'm fucking old, but I don't give a shit. I got a foot-long dick. I'm gonna win 3 titles.
For the
in a
record,
row.
Nick Foles, rumor that they call him Big Dick Nick.
Really?
Yeah. Supposed to have a hammer on him. That's what everyone says.
I have never heard that.
You got
Look
to.
it up. Look it up. I guarantee you.
I love how that's like the rumor around men, and no women are like, yeah, Nick Foles.
Right?
Well, if you just say that, you know what I mean? Like, just listen to the way you said that. You're like, yeah,
Right.
Nick Foles.
She should have
Yeah.
told us
Yeah,
that, not you.
That's the thing. I had this theory about quarterbacks, like their name's got to be cool or else they'll never make it. You know what I mean? Like Tom Brady, great name. Aaron Rodgers, that is a quarterback's name. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then when you hear like Nick Foles, it's like
Right.
it just falls flat. But he won.
Case Keenum.
Eli. We lost to a guy named Eli.
Like,
you know what I mean? Get the hell out of
Eli.
here.
Yeah, that is.
Oh,
Lose
but
to
that
Eli.
Super Bowl commercial with Eli.
Excellent
and
commercial.
That
yeah,
was great.
That was one of my favorites.
That was great.
For sure.
Yeah.
You know why I like that? What they did too is they said into all future TD celebration dances, because now there's no like penalties for that. Like you can,
Yeah,
like,
thank
do
God.
group-
That's half the fun of it. Come on.
Right, you
Yeah.
can do group celebrations now. I was like, you know that they're just going to keep doing this, right?
Yeah.
Like it started with the 2 of them in that commercial, but they'll like get another team to do the same like wacky, like extravagant
course.
thing. Yeah.
The Eagles, not for nothing, but the Eagles definitely had some of the best celebrations of the year. I don't know if you saw
Yeah, they
it.
did like didn't one of them.
Not at all.
Yeah, I saw
when I say what I keep up with football, I keep up with the New England Patriots. That's literally it. I don't know shit about shit until the postseason. You know, like that. That's it.
I get way too obsessed. I run a fantasy football league, and
Wow.
yeah.
What's it like being the commissioner of a fantasy football league? 'Cause I don't wish that upon my worst enemy, to be honest.
Right?
with you.
Yeah.
I like giving people shit. I like doing videos and whatnot. I like when more people are engaging and talking shit in it.
Oh,
too.
of course. Yeah, that's got to be half the fun of that shit.
Yeah.
Oh, it is. It's absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
I just
but
don't
it's
have-
always the person who wins. My mother-in-law won this year.
Wow.
Really?
She's like, how do I set my lineup again?
Oh my god.
That's great.
That's always the person
Yeah.
who
That's
wins.
great. That's great.
And it was, but it was like a, whole fuck Todd Gurley, because if you had him this season, you
Yeah.
were coming out on top.
Wow.
Last season,
Wow.
not the case.
No.
But that's why it's so funny.
Not
It's
the
like
case.
fantasy football gets you in this weird
Don't
state.
call it a comeback.
Yeah, it gets you in this weird state where you're like, I hope that guy dies. Like
Yeah.
you just like literally getting
Can
this.
someone break his fucking leg?
Right.
please? Yeah.
Yeah. Especially when you're playing against somebody, they're like, all right, all I need is for him to snap his ankle in the first 30 seconds, and I win. So you're like rooting for this person.
It is pretty sadistic to be like, I really hope everyone goes down.
Yeah.
And if they do, you're like, yeah. Or this ruins my entire season. I'm done.
Right.
The depth of it, like I got into playing the daily fantasy. Do you do that at all? Like
yeah.
FanDuel and DraftKings and all that stuff? You do that?
I do DraftKings. They've messed with their system a little bit.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I
Have
love
you won
DraftKings.
have you won a decent amount of money on it? How do you feel? Have you broken even? Are you up? Are you down? Or
I
you...
won $1,500.
What? What? That's awesome.
on
in
one
like a-
on one game.
Putting $1 in.
That's
And I was
sick.
like, yes,
How
I'm
is-
in this.
All right,
How
so
is
now
that
you're
possible?
officially the person I know that's won the most money on that in a single game.
Yeah.
And
Because
probably
before
the best
it was
ratio.
before it was me.
Are you kidding? That's crazy.
I
I
was
never
the-
spend over like $10 because I'm just frugal
So-
and a comedian.
Yeah, yeah,
I don't
yeah.
make
What it, like-
more than $10.
What did you bet on that you threw down $1 and you, or did do you get like free money for, you know what I mean, for signing? Like how the fuck does that work? You won to win $1,500 on $100.
You've never done like any daily fantasy? anything
Never
like that?
once, dude. No.
So like
it makes it more exciting. It does.
Right.
No,
Yeah.
It is.
I agree.
Yeah.
I don't have the attention span for like a fantasy football league, but that would be dope. Though.
that would be
You know-
perfect
you know
for
what I
you
mean? Yeah.
because that's why I enjoyed it. I was like,
Right.
I don't want to have to keep these guys. I want to
Yeah.
get rid of them
Like,
and do something
I
new.
have a child now. I get
Right.
shit
You
to
have
do,
different lineups
you know?
for each week.
Right.
You can play as
But-
many teams as
hold
you
on.
want. But
But-
when you put in $1 entry,
Right, okay.
depending on how many people are in win that pool,
right,
that's how much it will be. Like there's even 50-50 ones.
Okay, so it's it wasn't a 1,500 to 1 odd bet. I'm like,
well, no, it's worse. It's a bigger odds.
No, but I'm saying though. But I'm saying there's never going to be a game where the over/under or the spread is 1,500 to 1. So I'm like, how is that? But all right, but now I see what you're saying though. It's like
Also, at the end of the day, no one's breaking my legs over a DraftKings.
Right.
No, but I'm saying like you said, FanDuel and DraftKings. It's like a fantasy league, but one day. So it's other people. It's not like a
you're playing against literally, dude. You're playing against like sometimes in some pools 300,000 people.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
At once.
But I'm saying those other like when you're betting the spread and all that, you're just betting against yourself more or less. There's no all right. That's how you win.
Yeah,
so
that's
much money.
long odds for her to win $1.50. I get what you're saying.
I'm like,
no.
What did you bet on that you got?
Everybody's money gets pooled, and then based off of what place you come in is how much money you get.
I get it.
When I did
that's unreal.
So I had a contest where I had one guy. I had Antonio Gates left on a Monday night, and I was the biggest Antonio Gates fan on this earth for one day.
What year was this?
This was 2 or 3 years ago. He had just come back. He was playing against the Steelers on a Monday night. Dude, who'd you have? Did you have Le'Veon Bell that night? Because I'll kill you. So
I've never had Le'Veon Bell.
All right.
No.
Yeah, he's too expensive. So
yeah, exactly. I'm sneaky.
Michael Vick was filling in for the Steelers that week, and I picked up Antonio Gates, and I was like, if I get like 20 points from him, I'm going to come in like the top like 20. And it was like a $25 one, so I was like, I could win like $30,000.
Yeah.
So I was like, if this could be, if Antonio Gates scores 3 touchdowns, I'm rolling in dough.
So what do you place in the top? What pays out?
It depends. So like if you're the bigger the pool,
right, of course,
you got to finish I think in the top third to get money.
Damn.
But you could only get like $10.
But if you only bet,
but you could play a 50-50 pool.
First place is like $30,000, and then 10th place is like $10.
Right.
Or something. And you're like, it was so close.
It's like if I showed you the lobbies and stuff, you'd get it. You join a lobby, like you hook up in a lobby, and then you figure it out which one you want to do based off of how much you're willing to bet and everything like that.
Right.
So I like the sweet spot. I think is like the $20, $25 ones because if you do $1, you got to come in like the top 100 out of like I don't know how many,
right?
And then sometimes you only get like $5. Like, dude, for me that like I'm not gonna.
I'm okay with losing $1 is the problem.
I am too.
I'm actually not okay. I would like to drink $25 away.
Right.
I'm not losing that on football.
I feel like the $25 one. When you do the $25 one, you can. As long as you're not a complete moron, you're usually going to get your money back, unless it's a wacky week, which happens. Sometimes you lose it, but for the most part, I broke even and then won. But this week, I had Antonio Gates. I'm screaming my head off. He had I think he had 2 touchdowns, and at the very end, I was at the point where I was going to make I think $2,000. So I was like, I'm in $2,000 right now, right? Yeah. Very last play of the game, Le'Veon Bell punches it in for a touchdown. Everyone that had Le'Veon Bell jumped me,
up,
and then I jumped down, and I ended up getting I think $750.
That's still awesome.
But I went from 2,000. But in your head, again, competitive.
No, I know.
I had 2,000. I didn't look at it. I won 2,000. I look at it as I lost.
And that late in the game, that late in the game, you know,
But
I mean,
to that point,
profit margin's pretty fucking
that
legit.
Again, that's
it's
dope.
cool as shit. That's why I like
dope.
it. But that's why I like. But $1 at 1,500 is sick.
No, that's never gonna happen again in like
Probably
the history of
not.
anything. I'm just I took a screenshot of that. I was like, I'm gonna live this moment forever.
Yeah,
that's so sick.
What'd you do with that $1,500? Do you remember?
I spent it on bills. You know, really exciting things. But I know
you're the most responsible gambler I've ever heard.
I put it in the bank. I worked with a girl at bartending, and I just was like, "Oh, I won on Keno like last night," and she was like, "No way, I won like 3 days ago." I was like, "That's awesome." I'm like, she goes, I was like, I went and bought an Xbox. I was like, I was just waiting to hit on Keno. I was going to buy an Xbox. Like, I knew what I was going to do if I won. And I was like, "What'd you do?" She goes, "Open up a savings account." I was like, "That's the lamest answer I've ever heard in my fucking life." Are you serious?
That is so funny.
I opened a savings account. I'm like, "You loser!" I was like, "You win money. You do something with it. It's money you're not supposed to have. You go for it."
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Unless you're so much in crippling debt that you're like, I should take care of this shit.
Do you guys have something that you like saved money for as a kid, or you like really couldn't wait to buy, and then it just sucked ass?
Well, I like my first job when I legit. I had my first job. I was like 12 years old. No bullshit.
Yeah.
I did
paper route or something.
That's even earlier.
Sweatshop.
If you want.
I was really curious where his answer was gonna go. That's how I was like worried. He's like, I was 12 years old.
I made Nike.
Sex worker. Oh, even earlier than that, I was sucking dick.
All those
long time.
Those misstitched jerseys you were buying at Building 19. I fucking made those, Joe. No, but I had a paper route when I was real young, like 9. But then I started doing the whatchamajig, the scoreboards at the hockey games when I was like 12.
That's a cool job.
That was awesome, dude. Because I played hockey, so I loved everything about it and watched a ton of hockey. It was unreal.
Yeah.
And I used to spend a ton of money on Pokemon
and you get
cards.
to play with a switchboard.
It was dope.
I'm doing this. Lights, me.
Right.
You know what? I can make the score different. Fuck you.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
motherfucker. But but I used to spend a ton of money on Pokemon cards, though. But I mean, at the time, that didn't suck. But like now, it's, you know what I mean. It's like, dude, if I had saved some of that money, you know,
or some of the Pokemon cards. Have you looked that shit up lately?
True that. Oh, you know what? That's a good point.
I've come back around.
Yeah, the joy might have come back. Yeah, the joy might have came back in the form of cold hard cash, but definitely not like when I was like, oh my god, a Blastoise. You know, like, I don't know.
I think I saved up any money I ever had and bought like some kind of action figure or like a wrestling.
And you ended
guy.
up not liking it though? Like,
no, I can't really remember one thing that I was like needed to save up to buy that sucked. But I did like I remember like as soon as I got $10, I went and bought like something.
Okay, I'm gonna give you a good answer, and then we're gonna get Sarah's. All right. Now here's one thing that it didn't suck, but me and my buddy we bought a Stretch Armstrong with our
oh, that was a great toy.
We bought it with our.
So I was too young for Building 19. But we bought a Stretch Armstrong, which was popular in the 70s.
It came back around. It was popular when I was a kid.
It did come back.
I remember the commercial. They're like,
but my dad like did have one though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But so we bought one, and then we brought it out in the street, and we stretched it out like half a telephone pole length, and then it popped. And we I had the thing for about 10 minutes.
Legit, though. You have to see how far it's gonna go.
Legit. We were like, holy, all right, we'll take another step.
Keep going.
And then, exactly. And then pop. And then all the jelly started coming out. We're like, damn.
Yeah.
so funny. But all right, now Sarah, to you, the guest.
What?
Same question.
Stuff I saved up money for as a kid?
Yeah, something, whatever. You were disappointed in it, or you weren't, whatever the fuck.
I bought a guitar.
Oh, wow. See, there you go. See, you invest in yourself. That's good. That's
it's
good.
selfish,
We invested in material goods, Joseph and I, you know? Mm-hmm. And see, look where it brought us. But But that's good, though. Do you play guitar or no?
Sometimes, yeah. Right. No, I mean, when I bought it,
you do know how to play now, though, because
I was
you bought
really
one.
young. Yeah, no, and I was working at a pool, and nobody went to the pool, so I was like, well, this is boring as fuck, and I needed something else to do.
You were a lifeguard?
You were the lifeguard just strumming on a guitar and fucking...
It was not a lifeguard. It was like a 6-foot deep pool. It was like, no one's going to drown here.
True.
Like, and also, I'm not fucking saving you.
Yeah, if you do, you suck.
James, you were a lifeguard for a spell, right?
I was.
Quite some time.
Same. I worked at 2 places. One did have a legit 10-foot pool, but the other one, my full-time job, was the same thing. It was like chest deep. It wasn't like
it was
like literally if someone did start to drown,
you could
could not dive
shuffling
in.
over though.
You know what I mean?
To the shallow end. It's like, all right, I'm good now.
Right. The water wasn't even overhead, so you literally it wasn't safe to even dive into. You
would just yell and be like,
you have to
your right, move to your right.
There's a different there's a different weird, I don't know. It's just this weird technique to jump in when you can't dive with the floaty and all that shit.
Do tell.
It's just weird. I'd have to demonstrate. You want me to get off the table and jump onto the piano?
No. I'm just maybe
kidding.
later.
I would never. Anywho, the guitar though, I like that move. There you go.
Yeah. No, I still like to play from time to time, but I'm not like.
Do you ever bring it on stage?
I have.
That would be funny.
Yeah.
Okay.
How? Well, you sound skeptical. How'd you feel about it? Or were you like?
I like doing it. I don't like the idea of people labeling it as I'm a musical comedy act, because I'm not.
No, yeah,
and not that I don't love that also, because look at a Bo Burnham or something. That's hilarious.
Right.
I also just like stand-up as a whole process.
Right, right.
And I feel like people get distracted when you bring the guitar on stage. You're like, ooh, when are you going to play?
Right.
No, but maybe I won't.
Once in a while to just bust it out and be like, yeah, I got this funny song I wrote, that's odd. That's a cool thing to have.
That's a good outlet.
You know,
I mean,
yeah.
it's just another like bullet in the gun, so to speak.
Right.
I was talking to Ben Quick about that.
Yeah,
and
which Ben is like.
he's very
I
good.
love
And
Ben.
he goes
yeah.
back and forth though. Like he'll do straight stand up and then do some music.
So he
you know
said
what
the
I mean?
only thing that he like doesn't like about it was the fact that like when someone like calls him or someone emails him to do like a show or something like that, they like make sure you do that song. And he's
Right.
like, well, you're like telling me what material to do.
Right.
Right.
Whereas
Right.
like
That
if you
makes
book me
sense.
on if you book me on your show, I should be able to do what the hell I want.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be like, make sure you do that song that everybody loves. It's just
Yeah.
like, yeah, but what if I
then-
don't want to do that?
That's
But also,
Like-
then he has a new song too. That's like, yeah, that's great
Right.
too.
So he said, he goes, that's the only like kind of hang up on it is that when someone does book you, they expect that.
Yeah.
And that instead
Yeah.
of being like, I booked you because you're funny, I know you're going to come with some jokes and whatever. I know people that are booking me for that reason.
Right.
And I'm okay with it,
Right.
but at the same time, I'm like,
But-
I shouldn't be.
Yeah, the song is too easy to point out. I feel like in your set. You know what I mean? Like if you have a bunch of good jokes and then you do a song, they're gonna be like, oh yeah, I remember he had that joke about the fucking. But the song was funny though. Can you do the song? You know, like that. That's
Yeah.
Well,
like,
songs are
it just
easy to
sticks
remember.
out. That's what,
Songs are easy
That's
to
what I'm
remember.
saying.
That's
It just
what
sticks
happens,
out when
you know.
when you're a comic or you see a bunch of comics and then you see the guy with the guitar. Be like, oh yeah, the guy that did the song. Like, I don't know. That's too easy.
Yeah.
It sticks out too easily.
There's
So
just a level of like,
it is a-
there's
It's
a level of
different
mystery.
too,
Yeah.
It's a
right,
gift
no,
and a
to
curse.
try and then follow stand up after it, because then sometimes it brings up. I don't know why this happens, but like you bring another thing on stage, people are like amped up to hear guitar, and then I'm like, all right, and then I'm gonna follow it with jokes too.
Right.
like,
Okay.
it's gonna be a different level. So I don't know. It definitely.
Well, before we started, we were just talking about doing mics at music open mics.
Yeah.
And if you can squeeze onto those, how, like, they're really one or the other. It's like you either end up doing really well because people are like, hey, we finally have a comedian here. Let's give them their attention. And, like,
Which I
the
love
host is
that.
cool.
Right,
And the
yeah,
host is
yeah.
cool about it. Or they, like, ignore you like you're the goddamn plague. Like, they don't give a shit about you whatsoever.
But I'm like, if you can hook those people in who are like talking to each other over a song, which like you normally would do in a bar
Yep,
anyways, and you can get a couple people laughing at that, it's like, all right, this joke actually can captivate some attention.
Yeah,
see,
anything,
That's
yeah,
what
works
I was just about to point out is that the music open micers, they're not jaded comedians,
Right.
So they're
That's
they're
true.
actually a genuine audience for you.
They laugh. They
Yeah.
don't just say, "Hey, that was funny."
Right. like they're a genuine audience because they're not. That's not what their ear is trained to be hearing. Like they're not. You know what I mean?
I do enjoy it, though, when you're at an open mic and you tell a joke and a comedian will give you one of these.
Right.
Like, they don't laugh, but they
Right.
kind of go, that works.
That got me right here.
Right.
That's
It's one of
me
those-
now,
My
yeah.
soulless self.
Right. They just
Right.
give you one of those, like,
That-
I like that joke.
That's me
Like,
now,
they don't,
dude, yeah.
like, no one necessarily laughs at it, but they're like, that bit is, if you do it in front of an audience, it's going to work.
Right.
It's
right.
always a weird little, like, tidbit that you just kind of laugh at to yourself when you're up there.
Yeah.
You know, it is an interesting
I
thing.
always try to make some kind of noise, but then it's like it sounds fake and contrived, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I think there's something too, like if you have a comedic song, because like comedy's so much about misdirection. Like you try to put them somewhere, and then you obviously say something completely different.
Right.
And that's why music works so well, is because if you're on like a chord, and it's like rhymes and it has a rhythm, and then you just go off that rhythm, that's
Yeah.
what makes people laugh. So
Yeah.
it's one of those things where you're like, you can't help but not like a good comedy song. Like
Right.
you just, if someone goes, well, I don't do that. I don't do the music thing. Or blah, blah, blah. It's the art of
I'm
people.
more artsy.
Right, people love to go that route. And when people say that, I'm always like, shut the fuck up.
Oh, you
Like,
mean you
Jesus
can't
Christ.
do that?
Right, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, so you
Exactly.
never learn how to play the guitar.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Who are we talking
Right.
about that?
It's like if someone goes Weird Al Yankovic, I'm like, dude,
He's funny.
some of his,
the dude
come
is
on.
talented. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
talented.
Yeah.
For sure.
Let
You know?
yourself go for a minute. Stop trying to be so cool.
That's just jealousy.
a lot of his shit's really funny. Get over yourself, kind of thing. You know?
That's
Yeah.
so funny.
Yeah.
Oh man, no, but that is a that's just a great tool to be able to bust out. Like it's like being able to do like a voice or something.
You know who can play the
You know?
guitar? Paul Newman.
Get the, are you dead
no
serious?
idea. I was
Oh,
I was
my
going to say Brian
Honestly.
Glowacki, though. Actually, after
We
a
just
show
had
one
him
time,
here, yeah.
busts out on the piano, too, and, like, I was like, he just knows every fucking instrument on the planet.
He
has
a ukulele player.
Is there something you're bad at?
Yeah.
He had a great thing about his ukulele, about bringing it on stage, and he's like, I don't want to ever do music and because he's in a band. So he's like, I'm never going to do music and comedy together, but he's like, I do want to go like bring it up as a prop and like just like
never address it.
Bring it up, but not put it down, and just keep acting like he's got like start maybe strumming a little bit and then be like, oh yeah, this reminds me of this thing, and then do a joke about that. Remember he was like, yeah, again, it's a tool for misdirection.
Yes.
Comedy is huge. Yeah, comedy's huge about that. Oh shit! Good talk, you guys. Do you guys want to take the halfway through break since we got Mikey Shake here in the room with us?
It's halftime.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Yeah. Let's hit the head and do all that stuff, and you guys can listen to some tunes while we're gone.
Emperor Zarnak of the Remulox Nebula. We have received the transmissions of the Bent Men, one of the most legendary bands to ever grace your pitiful planet. And on February 9th, they'll once again be unleashing their terrifying brand of rock and roll onto your populace. It might be your last chance to see the Bent Men before I, Emperor Zarnak, take over your planet. So be at Once Ballroom in Somerville on February 9th to witness the tightest and most twisted rock your puny planet has to offer, including special guest CMB featuring Casey Desmond. Brought to you by WEMF Radio. Unleash your inner monster before the eventual destruction of Earth. Also, can I get a ride?
Goddess Delights. Edibles, topicals, remedies using only whole plant cannabis formulas for real green healing, mind, body, and soul. Providing patient-to-patient safe access. Find us on Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook for details and information. Green Goddess Delights.
She below. You got something to say, but you want to say it with your body, with ink, or a piercing? Get down to Stingray Body Art, 386 Cambridge Street in Allston, Rock City, right next to O'Brien's Pub. Stingray Body Art, Boston's best tattoo. Make an appointment right now. Go to stingraybodyart.com, check out the artists, they're on the left side of the page, and you're going to be like, I want to get a tattoo at Stingray. These artists are awesome.
Stingray Body Art, Boston's best tattoos, piercing, and permanent makeup.
Now offering laser tattoo removal right in the heart of Austin.
Here Now Live, promoting Boston's local scene since 2005. HereNowLive.com.
This is WEMF Radio. WEMF.
Hey, what's going on? I was right on the guitar riff. What's up, everybody? We're back.
Yeah.
We took our break. You listened to some music, and now we're going to kill it all over again.
We're hanging. It's already fucking 8:10. Time flies when you're having fun, Sarah Martin. That's all I can say. That first half was a great time. I'm not gonna lie. That was good talking.
Excellent.
I'm excited for some more, guys.
Yeah.
Now that my bladder is completely empty, void of all Mountain Dew.
Which, if you can't see this, James Corbett is in a sweat-cedo right now.
Oh, wow. I've never heard that.
I don't think I've ever heard that.
I have never heard that. Wow. I love
You fancy.
I love it. No, it's been a rough week, you know.
You're always
wasn't-
having a rough week.
Wasn't feeling it. I wasn't. No, usually I get
No,
drunk.
I'm usually in the same outfit.
Usually I throw some jeans on. I'll throw on a button down or something, but I was like, no.
What, dude, you never wear a button down on the show, brother. You always wear sweatpants.
Dude,
Well, usually
do I have to
sweatpants,
show
maybe
you
jeans.
like every photo we've ever taken here?
Not
Not
it's
one
happened
do
a
I have
couple times.
sweatpants on. No, one do I have sweatpants on.
Last week you wore sweatpants.
That's 1 week, dude. Okay, sorry, dude. Sorry.
Why are you getting so mad right now, man?
Dude,
Because he's never going to measure up to Paul
yeah,
Newman.
Legit. you never wear button downs in this show, dude. What are you
Paul
talking
Newman
about?
was GQ smooth. You are.
Yeah, I'm nowhere
not.
near Paul Newman.
Oh, yeah,
I wear
we
button
know.
downs, not fucking whatever he wore. I don't even know. Probably had some locally sourced, you know, fucking. Damn it! What's
He
the
made
word I'm
an
looking
entire
for?
outfit out of kale. No.
Out of kale, artisanal kale, mind you.
Yeah.
Locally sourced artisanal kale, mind you. So yeah.
And
Anyway.
then sold it for charity.
Yeah.
So you're a woman in comedy, Sarah.
Oh, my God. It's a magic trick.
I'm like, to some people.
What's wrong
Yeah,
with
I
you?
know.
Right.
Yeah.
To some people.
The next person coming to the stage is a woman. Like, oh, my God, I have tits.
How many times have you heard that?
Oh, too many.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Way too many. Not as often recently. And I don't give a shit. Like but like
That's good to just not fucking care at all. But I don't know.
I think it's funny now. It used to really frustrate me of like, guys, hang on. Your next comic
got a
is a
lady."
lady. Yeah, we got a lady.
Ooh.
Oh, hello.
I think I think some dudes though genuinely they think it's like a compliment in a weird way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
No, and I'm like, take your male feminism down a notch. Just introduce the next person. Like,
right.
I don't know.
Right. I don't know. I agree.
How do you feel about the state of women in comedy? Do you think it's on the rise? Are you? Is it?
What's the meaning of life?
I don't know.
Yeah, I thought we were just asking loaded questions.
Exactly.
Okay.
I wanted to get a little. I wanted to get a little heavier on it. No.
No.
Woman in comedy. I think when I first started, there wasn't as many who are going out to all the local scenes, and now there's more, and that's a good thing.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means, and I'm happy about it. Is that cool?
Yeah, that's absolutely cool. I'm asking because it's it's something that I feel like is a topic of conversation.
Oh, for sure.
Lately, and if anybody's there's a Boston Comedians Facebook page. It was like a war the last week or so, based turning on one another, and it was a big to do. And I was like, okay, well.
I went
then.
ahead and shut my Facebook notifications off for that group about a year ago.
I don't have the notifications,
And,
but sometimes like shit will pop up and you're just there and you see it and you're
I
like,
don't-
all right. And for the most part, I just stay out of it.
Here's the problem I have with it. I think it doesn't go to a point of like booking and whatnot, which there's a lot of shows popping up that are trying to specify, hey, we're going to promote women. Great.
Yeah.
We're going to promote everybody else too is like women of color, like you have people of color, like and cool, awesome. Where at a base level, where it's like, why does it feel like those people can't start then in comedy? Because it is male dominated for sure.
Yeah.
And that's my question is why does it feel like that's the situation of it's male dominated. It's mostly white dudes, and it's not for nothing. That's how it is.
Yeah.
But why does it feel like people can't start doing comedy then in a different role? And I think it just goes back down to society, and it has nothing to do with comedy.
Well, no, I feel like there's something to like, what's mainstream? You know, what I mean, what's mainstream?
Right.
If rich white people like you, you're mainstream now. Like that's where, like that's kind of what the audience is. It's like
people would give shit to like a Kevin Hart, like, oh, he's sold out now, or like whatever.
I've talked about this with people. It's like, how do you maintain an artistic integrity but also be the biggest comedian in the world? It's like people are going to say you sold out.
Right. Can we be happy for anyone anymore?
Right. It's like, oh, I'm sorry, people ended up like liking me a lot, and I sell out arenas. My bad. That's selling out. Well, then fucking ching ching.
Hold on. But the material has suffered though substantially.
With I think sometimes
I don't want to offend anybody, sort of thing, or
it's just weak now. Yeah, like his material is not good anymore.
Yeah,
I think we just hold him up to a bigger standard. If you're that fucking big, it doesn't matter who you are. If you're that big, the standard's here of like you set the precedence of comedy right now. You know what I mean?
I don't know though. Like his shit is not funny anymore. You know, like
I know what you're saying, dude. Like I've never been a massive fan of his. I've never thought he was above.
If he was selling out arenas on that first like couple of specials he did, like that would be justified.
But that's what happens. Though is like everybody catches on late. Like you know what I'm saying? Like the things that are really good. Like oddly enough, all right. So what did I just say about it being mainstream is like. It's like old white people know who you are, you're like mainstream. Like it finally reached.
You know, it was comedy. Everyone loves Raymond.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That show is hilarious.
But oddly enough, by the time it reaches that to be mainstream, you've used up all your good shit. So the people who liked you before were actually like right, and then by the time everyone likes you, no one cares anymore. It's just a strange thing, and that's like the cycle of how it goes.
Yeah.
Again, sustainability.
I don't know.
Like there's
I think musicians go through that a lot too.
Oh, that is
that has always been the thing. And like I grew up listening to like a lot of punk music and whatnot, and it's like Green Day sold out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like because they're popular, because more people listen now.
Right.
Are we upset about that? That other people appreciate this shit?
Well, it's 100. No, that's 100% true. That's like a movie that I ended up watching. I don't know, like 7 times for some reason. Was the Temptations movie on VH1? I don't know why I watched that so many times.
Was it good? Yeah.
Because it was always on. I feel like it was always on, but I watched that a lot. And there was that one scene where he's like, "We're going to play the Copa. We're going to whatever." And then the one guy was like, "What is this going to do besides piss off all our fans? Like we're playing to like." White audiences.
Right.
He's like, yeah, but you're going to make a ton of money. Like, this is the mainstream. You guys talk about making it. Let's make it. He goes, if you want to keep playing the things you're playing, fine. But you're not going to get to the level that you're talking about being the biggest band. Right now, he was like, you're the biggest band for black audiences.
Right.
But how about being the biggest band, period? Right. And it's just weird that, like, that's what it takes is to be, like, to the point of them recognizing you is the fact that like you've been around long enough and been good. All your good shit was good, and now people like the mediocrity because we're tasteless white people.
I mean, I don't know shit about that shit because I am not. I'm like I live in mediocrity.
Old white people are all corny as fuck. So that is what the material inevitably is going to suffer.
You working hard or hardly working?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I got a joke for you.
That's a Kevin Hart tagline. The shit is weak, dude.
That's a callback now.
It's weak, bro.
I just think the pressure that you must be under to obviously generate that material or like have people come out and see you and all that stuff. It must be unbearable, but the checks must be pretty sweet. I mean,
Kevin Hart's ex-wife makes $50,000 a month off of Kevin Hart. Put it that way. Okay, no, dude. If that's a hell of a living.
I love how she doesn't have a name though. It's just Kevin Hart's wife, her current wife,
his ex-wife,
his ex-wife.
Yeah, his ex-wife.
Yeah, no, I would be selling his shit. Be like, hey, he like sneezed on this once.
Hey, this is a couch that we can see.
I don't need this memory. That's my ex.
Oh my god. Again, that's crazy money though. $50,000 a month. You know?
Yeah, that's comfortable.
That's a bit more than comfortable. But he's paying it though, and that's
yeah,
not
I'm sure it's really making
clearly.
a dent.
That's what I'm saying, dude. That's my point, man. It's like holy.
Actually, if
fuck.
you think about it though, like that's $50,000 that he like would never want to spend. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about this, right?
How do you mean?
I mean, this is what I mean. Let's just say, I mean, obviously I doubt he's a big fan of his ex-wife. I could be wrong.
Right.
Like, they could be best buds, but they're divorced, so I have to
Love when
pay.
people say that.
I have to pay this woman $50,000 who I'm no longer with, who I obviously don't give a shit about, and I was married to once, and now I'm no longer with him. It's like, dude, if you had to pay your ex-girlfriend $25 a week, like, you'd be like, ugh! Like, I know it's like $25 a week, but you'd still be like, no, that's $25 that you would hate to spend.
Right. But
obviously,
that's a given.
If it's for kids, it's different.
Of course,
if it's for kids, well, I'm saying that's relative to him. $50,000. He's probably like, yeah, $50,000 a month. On anything else, not a huge deal. But for my ex-wife, I'd hate writing that check.
Oh, okay, all right. I see.
You know what I'm
Okay. In comparison, all right. I get
In comparison,
okay.
it must be a nightmare.
Yeah,
like to have to do that.
Even, I wouldn't care.
You're giving money to your ex. Imagine giving money to your ex, James. That's what I'm saying.
Right,
Imagine doing that.
I don't care.
Having to do that.
If I was making Kevin
You're
Hart money,
obligated to give money to them.
if I was making Kevin Hart money, I'd be pissed about giving her $100 a week.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Yeah.
I
just rewrite it and be like, that's actually the electric bill. I'm not even addressing it.
To my custom, what is it? The lifestyle I've grown accustomed to.
Yeah.
Oh my
listen,
God.
Listen, Yana, I've grown accustomed to fucking her 4 or 5 times a week.
What is that from?
That's the same bit, the Chris Rock bit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Your Honor, she's become accustomed to a certain lifestyle. He's like, I couldn't go in there. Like, listen, Yana, I'm accustomed to fucking her 4 or 5 times a week. You know, like, he's a fucking genius.
He's got, I don't know, top. How many bits does he have that are in the top 10? Chris Rock.
9.
Is there a bit?
I love
Is there one bit in your mind that is like top for you? Like you have a bit that you're like, this is the greatest bit I've ever heard in my entire life.
To you first, Sarah.
With Chris Rock?
Anybody?
With it, yeah.
A bit you're like, I don't know if I'll ever hear a better bit of my. That's the best joke I've ever heard.
One of my favorites actually is Sarah Silverman made, and I can't quote it. Just look up her new special with the speck of dust. She does a...
Is it the shower bit?
Shit rape joke.
Oh, wow.
It makes it work.
Wow.
And I was like, the amount of bullshit you have to be able to pull off to make that funny to the entire audience. I was like, and that's like... it's like taking out any person from an open mic and being like, here's how your rape joke works.
Right. Yeah. Right.
But like it just it made me laugh so hard because it's like it just hits that level of like we're on that edge of offensive. However, at the same time, it's not making fun of anybody except for herself.
Right.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. She is a legitimate comedic genius.
Yes.
Yeah, like seriously. She's fucking incredible, dude. Did you did you ever see her first special, Jesus is Magic?
Of course.
Did you see it, Buck?
I did not.
Oh my God, she's talking about I believe she's talking about Kimmel at the time, and she does a joke about she's explaining to like I want to say maybe like a niece or a nephew or no, she's explaining to their hypothetical kids, right?
Yeah.
And she's like, we're debating like, will we raise the kid Catholic or Jewish? And then she's like, that's a no-brainer to me. It's like when my kid comes to me and she's like, Mommy, what's the difference between Judaism and Catholicism? And she's like, well, Mommy and her family believes that we are God's chosen people, and Daddy believes that Jesus is magic. And it's a whole fucking long ass bit. It's fucking great, dude. She's a comedic genius.
I can't remember the name of the comedian, but she did a bit on Conan, and I don't know if it's similar, whatever. She was like, I grew up, I'm Irish Catholic, but but my dad is Protestant and my mother's Catholic. So it's like a lot of turmoil, you know. And she's like, it's like my dad believes in. She's like, my mom believes in magic, and my dad believes in killing magicians. That's an excellent.
Touche.
That's an excellent joke.
Her mom was Jewish, though, dude.
Yeah, I know.
I'm
saying it's similar in the sense that like, you believe in magic.
No, but that same.
It sounds like a Morgan Murphy or like a.
Is that what it was? It might have been Morgan Murphy.
Yeah,
sounds familiar. It's an excellent joke. I really liked it. Yeah.
She is also fucking hysterical.
Yeah.
You know?
It is the driest of the driest humor.
Right. But she just has the delivery for it and all that. She's
I really love like
she's fucking great.
Awkward comedy.
Yeah.
But I know I'll never be able to do it, and that's why I think I'm like, I'm just not that person.
How about
like I love Dimitri Martin's like weird delivery and style.
Okay.
And I'm like, man, I would love to be able to do that. I know I'm not that.
Right.
I can never do that, but man, I wish I could do that.
Yeah.
Like it's just so like dry and like off the wall.
Man, I
and
wish I could be
bizarre.
more socially awkward.
Yeah.
No, you know what I mean, though. Like, I don't think I
wish
think
I
I'm
had
socially
Asperger's.
awkward in a different way, but like, I don't think I could do what he does. Like, I wish I could do what he does. Like, if there's a local guy, who's that local? Shit, man, I had his name, I just lost it. His last name, I think his last name's Santos.
Derek Santos.
Derek Santos.
Yeah, he's so funny.
Yeah.
Insanely funny, but like just off the wall.
He's had some issues.
Weirdo.
But
you know what? It's awesome. And
Yeah.
I love every second of it. I mean, I cannot
He is definitely
stress how funny he is in just such an insanely awkward way. It's
a
great.
character in itself, and it's a show.
Yeah.
It's a show.
But I feel like he could say anything. I feel like he could say I don't mean like pushing the
I love
envelope.
watching
I mean, I just feel
him.
like he could say just such off the wall crap,
He
and
has
people are
some
just gonna
raunchy
laugh.
jokes.
It's almost like it's just this weird thing where like you. Yeah, I can't explain it.
Yeah.
It's like a Creelman. Like James Creelman is just so bizarre. He's so
love that
insane.
fucking
He's
kid.
just
Little
he's just
shuffling.
yeah.
I love that
and he's just
fucking kid.
his jokes are so insanely bad and dry. It's hilarious.
But then, oh my god.
But they're not. They're smart, but in a way they're just like, oh my god, that was
It definitely takes a certain type of person to be able to do that.
Oh, and that's when I watch. I'm like, man,
Like
I wish I could do that, but I could never
Carrie
put on that
Ross
act
or something too.
Right.
Like, oh my god,
You can't put on that act. That's the point. It's like you really can't. You have to be that.
You have to be that
because
person.
people think Creelman's just they're like, oh man, like this is
That's
such
a
a great
persona?
this is such a great character. I'm
Right.
like, dude, talk to him off stage. It's the same fucking person.
He
It's
is
like,
art incarnate, dude.
Yeah.
He cannot help but be James Creelman. And it's like, it's fucking awesome, dude. You know what I mean? Like, oh my god.
he did something to me where
I love
I
that
realized
fucking guy.
none of it was an act. And I was like, oh shit, like this is not an act at all. This
Right.
is, you're crazy. You're insane.
Have you ever had that moment where someone said to you, "Oh wait, Joe Buckley, this isn't an act"?
No. No one's ever said that to me.
Like, no, I'm real as fuck. I'm from Brockton, motherfucker.
That's never. I don't think that's ever happened. Like with Creelman, I forget what it was. I was talking to somebody. We were like, someone was in a conversation. I don't know. It was like probably like me, like EJ or Tilson. It was in Providence. It was all those people. So we were having a conversation.
Don't be an asshole.
Yeah, asshole. And we were talking, and then Creelman came up and asked one of them a question, and I kind of interrupted him for like a half a second. He goes, "Hey, I'm talking to him," and then he just walked away. And I went, "All right, he is the same exact human being
Like,
on stage that he is off stage."
was that
he goes,
Yosemite
"Hey, don't
Sam?"
interrupt me!" Rah, 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 rah. And he like just made this face and like did the sugar sale. I was like, "That was awesome."
You know, like Janet McNamara.
Yes.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
Yes.
no, and that's the same thing. Is like this is not a character. This
No.
is
No.
her
No.
on stage, and it's so
No.
fucking funny.
She went up on stage one time and she goes, it was like a week after she had this conversation with Emily Raskowski, and she's like, yeah, I used to think that oh no, what was the this is what she says, right? She goes, I go up on stage, or no, she goes up on stage and she's like, yeah, I used to tell everyone I was bipolar, and she's like, I'm not, I'm actually autistic. I know because Emily Raskowski told me. And
It's diagnosed now.
I was like, clearly she's correct, first of all, but it's still fucking hilarious. You know what I mean? That had me dying.
She had a joke a few years back too. My doctor told me I'm not autistic, which really sucks because he said you're not smart enough.
Jesus.
Mike Harrington had a joke like that.
She's an accountant.
Like,
and just
she's like a CPA.
fires off.
What?
Stuff.
Mike Harrington had a joke like that I could not stop laughing at. He was like, he was like, yeah, you know, I'm not suicidal. I know this because I think about it every day.
Yeah. I
haven't done it. Yeah. It's just like, that's a great joke.
That is a great joke. That is a great joke.
There's some people like that. There's also some people that are completely opposite. Like, they need to put on some kind of character.
Yeah.
It's so weird that they can just turn a switch like that.
I think I'm a caricature of myself on stage.
Your head gets bigger.
You know what I mean? Like, legitimately. I don't know. Like, I turned some
a more enhanced.
I turned
version,
something. I turned
yeah.
something on. I get a little more arrogant, assholey on stage. You know what I mean?
More
Doesn't
arrogant,
it-
more
no,
asshole.
Doesn't everyone have like it's you, and then it's like the
Your ego.
110% of you
Yeah.
of just like here's the extreme me.
I think mine might be like 125%.
Well, they say that about
Yeah.
your. They say that about when you're impersonating somebody. You're supposed to take like a little something that they do, and you're supposed to like emphasize it that much more that they do it, and then that's what gets you the impersonating someone.
Yeah.
So if you're impersonating yourself, so to speak, you kind of extend your voice. You kind of add a little something to the things you're saying.
You put a little stank on it.
Yeah. Put a little
Now I want to do like a Halloween show of like you have to impersonate you.
Man. Yeah, it's weird how that, like, one person that comes to mind is Cam McNeil.
Okay.
Is hilarious on
Yeah,
stage,
yeah.
like one of the funniest human beings, period.
And
but when
very
you talk
reserved.
to him off stage, he is so reserved. He's so like soft spoken. He's very much like taking stuff in, but he's just a little awkward when you're talking to him off stage. Nice.
Right.
Very nice.
Right.
But then when he gets on stage, you're like, where did this guy come from? He is hilarious.
He's a
like
monster.
everything he says
Yeah.
is just killer.
He's a
And-
monster.
But when he's off stage, he could not be more of a, you know,
Right.
just like, I don't think it's a wall. It's just like, and oddly enough, he seems more comfortable behind a microphone than with anybody.
I think I'm the same way, dude. I'd rather be on stage and be like around a room. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's very weird. I don't know.
For sure. Like
Yeah.
when you get in that situation, let's say you have to meet a bunch of people at a party, like, you know, 2 people at the party.
Right.
And there's 40 people there or
Right.
something. Like, I don't really want to be involved in this, but
Not
if you're all
psyched.
sitting in front of me and I have a microphone, I'll entertain you.
Yeah.
I know where you all are.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, no,
There you
everyone's
go.
in front of me, not behind me. I don't have to guess the intentions. You all came out for entertainment.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Whereas if you're the person in that social situation, it's like, who's this weird kid?
Yeah,
well, that's the
right.
thing
Who's
too.
the new
Is
girl?
without
Right.
that structure, if you say things to somebody in a social setting that you would normally say to either other comics or
Right.
Or
behind
on
a
stage,
microphone,
right.
And you forget.
people like
lot.
you are a bad human being. Whereas like you would just be like, I'm kind of trying to be honest, or you lose that like sense of, is this okay to say
Right.
or whatever, because you're supposed to be, you know, socially acceptable
Yeah.
and polite and da da da.
But then it almost is worse when people are like, "Hey, here's my friend so and so, who's a stand-up comic." Right.
I hate
Do you
that.
feel
Nightmare.
pressure? Do you feel pressure then to A, be funny, B, then be like, "Oh fuck," like. No, because now you're going to judge me either saying I don't do anything.
So
like,
I had a problem with this
here's
when
my friend who makes things out of clay with her feet. Like,
right, right. I know, right? Hey, test that out for me. I need to see that right now. It's like, well, I kind of have boots on, so do you mind like not having me do this right now? But I had this situation where I was at a game night with like my wife's like cousin and future and wife and friends, and they're cool people,
Right.
But you know, not as cool as comedians. And they so we were playing a game where you had to like, there was like some sort of thing. So it was, one of it was like it'd be like, okay, famous mustaches, like famous people that have mustaches, right?
Tom Selleck.
Okay,
What am
so
I playing?
right. So he was on this. So you had to like,
Marty
rattle off names,
Yeah.
and then they would tell you like, "Yep, you got that one, or whatever, and there was just a timer. So at the end, it'd be like, all right, you got like 6 right at 6 points, and then there'll still be people. So you'd be like, oh, who else is on the list, right? So we went through this whole thing. Yep, Hitler wasn't on the list.
Wow.
It's a very famous mustache.
Wow.
The mustache
Like, you can't have that mustache
is more
anymore.
famous than... But
Yeah, but
dare I say
I
him?
I wouldn't
but
think of
is he
Adolf Hitler,
famous
dude. Yeah.
or whatever? But dude,
Right.
how many people know who he
He's
is?
infamous.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. So the point is I got maybe a little too upset that he wasn't on the list because I'm competitive,
Right.
and we were losing by a few points, and I was like, wait a minute. Hitler's not on the list. And I remember being like, whoa, whoa,
It was
whoa.
like, you're a supremacist.
And I went like this, and I went like this. I go, you're telling me? I mean, like, could there be
Cool
a guy
down,
who's
Gestapo.
more famous? Could there be a more famous mustache? I go, his mustache is famous. Nobody's mustache is famous. Not only is he like well known, beyond well known, his mustache is famous. If someone did that right now, it's a Hitler mustache. So how the fuck is that not on there? And then everyone was just looking at me like, dude, like, and I was like,
Charlie
well, I'm just
Chaplin
saying.
had the same one. He just had to change it.
Yeah, whatever. All I'm saying is, like, all right, Charlie Chaplin may have like
Right, no,
had
you're
it, but
the asshole because you're
Yeah.
mentioning.
Yeah, and
you
everyone's
just
looking at me. I'm
merely
like, dude.
mentioned Hitler.
But here's the thing: it's a game. And
about mustaches.
Right. So I'm just staying within the topic. Like, it's like people always got to, like, if there's a joke or something, like, everyone's got to, like, branch it off into, like, something that's serious. Like, no, stay on topic here. This was the question. This was some of the answers, and it's not on there. Why am I wrong in this scenario? I don't think so. I'm pretty sure me standing by Hitler right now I'm right.
And nobody can name the guy who's tying people down to the train tracks in silent movies. So thank you, that mustache has no name.
I mean, Chaplin was on there. I'm pretty sure he was on there, which we guessed him, but I guessed Hitler. And when they were like, no, I'm like, what? Like, I remember being like, I'm offended right now.
Nobody else thought this?
Yeah.
I mean, this is why you can't do that.
Yeah, and then and by then it was like the rest of the night was kind of awkward because I think they were just, you know.
Everyone's like, he might be a neo-Nazi.
Is he a fan?
We're here
I'm not a fan.
We're here
I
with
just-
Joey Salads. If you'd like to call into the show,
Did you see?
Definitely don't.
Did you see that?
you look just like
I
him.
look like
yeah,
him.
you do. You look just like him. That's the inside joke.
Yeah, Bill
No one can see
McMurrow
you.
was
They can
like,
hear you.
yeah, they were like, dude, is that you, Joe Buck? You look like Joe. Are you Joey? He said, are you Joey Salads?
That was
And I
way-
gotta
that was
admit
way
that
back,
picture,
yeah.
he looked just like.
He did in that photo. He did with the hat on and
He
shit.
did.
I was
He
like,
looked
that's a very damning photograph, Joe. Like, god damn.
Yeah.
That was funny as shit.
Yeah. Oh well.
Oh man, that's funny. But yeah, no, the dude. I don't know. Hitler though. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
How could he not be on the list? Explain.
I do not think of Hitler when I think, you know, like she said, Tom Selleck. You know, I would think
It was
of
just
like
the first-
No, but you think of like I don't know, when you think of a famous, like you think of like a movie still, like I don't know, like it's almost like a happy. I don't know.
If you were just
Reynolds.
rattling off people with mustaches,
If you
right?
said dictators with facial hair, I'd be like, yeah, Fidel.
I will take that for
Fucking
1,200.
Mussolini.
Thank you.
You know,
Did Mussolini
Stalin had a fucking mustache.
oh, is that whole thing? Stalin. That's what,
No,
okay.
I'm saying, did Mussolini have facial?
Oh, did he
No.
also? Okay,
I don't know.
I'm thinking of who it was either Mussolini or Stalin.
No,
One-
Stalin definitely had a huge
Okay.
flavor
Yeah,
saver.
Okay, then that's who I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Okay. But flavor saver. There you go.
But the point is that Hitler had a mustache that was very specific to him.
But
Which is
dude.
why no one does that mustache
That's-
anymore, and that is
Yeah.
very clear in that category of. You don't have to be a Hitler supporter. You don't have to
To know that
fucking
he should be
Nazi.
on
I'm just
that
saying,
list.
dude,
Right.
They test the game though with normal folks, Joe, and so
That's
so,
Yeah.
horseshit. You
so
can't tell
I'm-
me.
I'm
You
just
can't tell
saying,
me
dude.
they didn't like
They
test.
arrived to that
They
list
didn't test that
through a you know what
That's
I mean?
that's
Like,
They're like,
complete.
guys,
Yeah.
Steve
No.
Harvey was number one.
No, that's complete and utter horseshit. There's no way they didn't test that out.
That was in the Philly market.
Saw the answers and were like, we just got to leave him off the list because it's gonna like it could be bad for us. That's all they did. They crossed him off. There's no doubt about
dude,
it.
I'm sorry.
I mean, granted,
Sucked out
granted,
some
he,
IPAs.
Can
that
we
were
get
like,
past this before
no,
we get flagged for
no.
fucking?
Granted,
you know,
he had it
for
coming.
hate speech?
He got crossed off a list. He probably deserved
This is
it.
not hate
I know,
speech.
it
It's
was a
just
joke.
saying he
It
had
was
a
a joke.
shitty mustache. Also, it was a very famous mustache.
True. That is true. True.
Massively true.
I mean,
I would argue infamous. You know that.
yeah, infamous.
Yeah. I don't know.
For
I don't know.
sure.
I just wouldn't think of. I would not think of Hitler if you said famous mustaches.
But also, I wouldn't think of like good mustache being like a little stripe on your lip that looks like someone just shit on it.
that too.
Like, yeah.
Right. It does look like a skid mark on his face.
Whatever. Whatever. I'm not saying I like the mustache.
No,
I'm
I know.
saying-
I know. I know. I'm just saying. I don't know.
Just change your speech to skid mark
I don't
face.
I don't think it's totally unreasonable that he wasn't on there. You know, eventually I would have.
Actually, if you think about it, the mustache makes it even more incredible that he got that many people to follow him. And, like, no one was like, dude, what are you doing
Like,
with
you're
your
right.
facial hair?
no one really questioned that.
You're like, what, man? Like,
Like,
you know,
you're
listen.
yelling at me and you have a shitty face.
He's just like,
Like, if you're having a conversation about Hitler, you'd be like, hey, you know, this guy is making some, like, pretty interesting points. You'd be like, yeah, but the mustache, though, can you get over that? I'm not following him.
It would never happen today. I'm like, can you imagine him being like picked apart on like a TMZ or
No,
some shit?
never, yeah, he'd never make
He
it.
just Donald Trump did. He fucking stone faced. Like, I don't have a mustache. what are you talking about?
And every
What-
time he gets
what
upset,
mustache?
his hair gets out of place. He doesn't even know
Yeah.
product placement.
Right?
Fucking funny.
He's always
well,
yelling. He's
poor-
so aggressive.
Poor Adolf, not getting his face on the board games these days.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Only lots of Trivial Pursuit.
was that what it was? Trivial Pursuit?
No, it was just some game that was
Okay.
like a survey. I don't know if it was a
Oh,
survey.
alright.
Whatever. You just had like, if it was like candy bars.
Right.
Like name off like candy
Okay.
bars.
Don't-
And
yeah.
you would have to rattle them off.
Don't they do that in
So
Trivial
if
Pursuit,
you
though?
said,
Is it?
no.
No, is that okay? I don't.
No, it's
sorry, I don't-
multiple
I don't
choice,
remember. I
like,
don't
yeah,
remember.
trivia.
My bad.
Trivial Pursuit. So this one would be like, you know, candy bars, and you'd be like, you know, Charleston shoes or whatever, and
Right.
Charleston would be like, oh, Charleston 2 isn't on this list.
Gotcha.
Like, you know what I mean? But something else that you think doesn't deserve to be on the list would be on it.
I smell you.
Yeah, that's what it'd be.
Surveys says.
Yeah. There was some other weird ones too. Like, yeah, it was. I guess it was like Family Feud in a way. But
What do you think is the most popular thing said? And you're like, no one else thought Hitler?
Heil. Come on, guys. Jesus. I know. I should have just ran with it at that point and just like kept going. I'd be like, what's your favorite cereal? Nazi flakes. That's not on there? Come on. Jeez. Favorite weapons? Gas.
That's
like,
that's
who
horrible.
invited him?
Actually, it happened to me once. I was when I was in college. I'd have my head shaved. It was like really tight, and some kid came up to me at a party.
The high and tight.
No, it was like bicked. Like I had my head bicked,
Okay.
and the kid was like, he goes, "Hey man," he goes, "You like," and he like, I was like, "What?" And he was like, I know a few guys like from wherever that are, you know, like skinheads." And I went, "Yeah, I'm not one of them."
Like,
so
yeah. We're in North Dartmouth,
I was,
Massachusetts.
I was like, but he said it like I fuck with him kind of thing.
Oh,
And I was like,
oh.
and I did one of these. I'm like, yeah, I'm not one of them. So
Right.
why don't you get the hell away from me? You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, it was just a weird. That's the only time that ever happened to me.
Right.
Like for real. People joke around, like
Yeah.
you know, just be like skinhead, blah blah blah. Like,
Right.
like people call me a terrorist now. Like,
Right.
you know, like.
Yeah.
But the
Joey salads and
yeah,
whatnot.
yeah. But the skinhead thing was one thing that actually bothered me.
Right.
But the terrorist thing, I just laughed. I'm like,
Yeah,
yeah,
of course,
okay,
yeah.
Come on, guys.
When we're in public, I'm like, Ahmed. People are like, huh? Uh-huh. Mohammed.
I love when people do it now. So I'm like, yeah, I haven't heard that one before. That was really original. That was awesome.
Did
What?
do you guys watch Crashing?
Yeah.
I have not watched it. I don't have HBO.
There's a guy that
I'm not rich like you do.
Did you see the one with Whitney, the newest one, when Whitney does the showcase?
The very newest episode?
Yeah, yeah.
No, shh. I DVR'd it.
No, I gotta tell you this one joke. She does a showcase, and I'm not gonna tell you anything about it because that will ruin it. But on the showcase, there's this one
Is
guy.
there such thing as a spoiler alert for Crashing? It's like, is
Like-
it going to be that devastating to the plot line?
No,
I mean,
not
I feel
at
like
all.
there
Not-
is
not-
with the
no, I'm
cameos
saying
and
for-
that. It's like,
no.
oh, my favorite
I don't give a fuck
car.
about anyone else. I'm talking about her. I don't want to ruin it for her. She's gonna like this episode.
I know, but I'm talking about it. She's right here, and you're telling her what happened in the episode. She just said la la la. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
No, I'm saying
No
I'm not-
spoiler, but here's the joke I like the best.
here's the hardest I laughed at this
You
episode.
actually no, but honestly, this episode you get to see probably a solid 10 minutes of stand up. No bullshit between
Okay.
because of everything that happens. It's awesome. So she does the showcase, and one of the guys that she picks is that guy Mo. He's like Iranian or something like that.
Yeah.
And he calls himself Mo, but his name's Mohammed. And he's like, you know, my name, they call me Mo, but you know, my name's Mohammed. He's like, you know, that's the most popular name in the world. He's like, I still can't find a fucking keychain with my name on it though. And I just love. And then he does.
No,
That
this
was
is-
the best joke.
No, that was the one. But you're gonna. Oh, He doesn't.
Let her watch the episode.
I know.
He
No,
does.
this
Other
is-
than that, he does like 2 minutes on his name. It's
You're the
fucking
reason why
hilarious.
I don't go watch movies.
It's hilarious.
I'll say this
it will not
about.
ruin it for you. I promise. Don't worry. It's hilarious.
I enjoy Pete Holmes like as a comic and everything like that.
I don't.
Yeah,
I
no.
love the show.
Actually, before Crashing, I wasn't a big fan.
Not at all.
So I really liked his late
I
night
almost
show
didn't
after
watch
Conan.
it because it was Pete Holmes. to be
I
honest
liked
with you.
his late night show after Conan. And I know he's like, I don't know if he's just too corny or something for people. I get it because he's a goof.
It's very TV safe.
Yeah,
I
and,
never watched it.
Which is
but-
fine.
Right.
In its own right. It's just not the thing that gets me in the core. I don't know.
I love the fact of how much he makes fun of himself. And the late night show, it was the only late night show. There was no low hanging fruit, none. He came out for his monologue and he did stand up. On his monologue, and he did it on anything, and that took so much balls, to not just be like Trump. Well, I don't think Trump was in office at the time, but he didn't go
I don't
politics.
think free material was in the office.
No, he didn't go
it wasn't all
politics. He didn't go. It wasn't topical at all. It was what was going on. It was just it was bits. It was all bits, and to do that every week and come up with it was basically all new stuff. With he had a writing team and all that stuff. I'm sure it was people's bits that they had in the staff or whatever. But to do that and not touch on anything topical, I thought was the coolest thing.
That is legit.
That was sick.
That is legit.
And his interviews were like pretty solid, and I know why he fell off, but like I get it. But it was one of those things where I was like, I actually enjoy the show. I was kind of disappointed when it like went away,
right?
Because it was good to hear, not political, not like, hey, did you guys see this on the news the other day? You know, and then it was just good to like actually just watch like stand up on television, like to hit bits and stuff.
Right.
Some of them sucked. Not gonna lie, but it was refreshing.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Well, there isn't a whole lot of stand up. I feel like just pure stand up on TV anymore.
No.
Like, I don't know.
Give me a benchmark. You know what I mean? Like Carson was like it was like if you got that
in that
Right,
way,
that was you. That's what everybody wanted to work towards.
I think Kimmel
and then
and
it was
Fallon
like
still do that,
and then
though,
it was like a sitcom. Fallon does it rarely. Conan's the only one who really does it consistently.
Really?
Right.
And he has bands, but he does it more consistent than any other late
and
night
then
host.
Craig Ferguson.
Kimmel
too,
does it.
And
Kimmel does it here and there.
And no, but it's not like the game's just so much bigger.
Yeah. But it's weird like that. I wish it was, then people work towards a half hour or whatever.
Netflix is doing
like that.
15 minutes now.
I know.
Oh,
what do you guys feel about that? I don't know.
Crazy.
I don't know how I feel about it.
I think it's cool to be able to showcase more people that way, and also I think attention span has changed over the years.
That
for sure.
is the truest thing. That's the truest statement that's been said right here.
You
Yeah,
give me
definitely.
15 minutes and I'll blow the doors off a room. You know what I mean? That's a different.
15, right? You don't.
It's a different
need to be a
thing.
headliner to have 15 minutes
that's what
of
I'm saying,
material.
yeah.
And
So
that's
that's
the
gonna-
shitty part.
that's
However,
what-
at the same time, people are gonna be checking their phones all throughout a fucking special. If it's a half hour, an hour,
But-
it doesn't matter.
No, but
Is your 15? I
but
mean, if
people
your
are gonna get
15
the
minutes
wrong
is great,
idea.
your 15 minutes could be better than anybody's.
that's
who's got the best?
That's what I'm. That's what. Well,
I just
yeah,
don't.
but
I don't.
I don't know.
I don't think.
So it's like,
I
I
don't
think
think
it's
they
good
should be doing it.
exposure. I think it's good
It's
exposure.
like, oh, you're a solid
sure.
opener, like
Right.
I don't think they should be doing it.
I don't.
Like, are these all individual things, or is it like a showcase of like, hey, like if you gave me
It said a series of 15-minute specials. That's
I
what
think
it
it's
said.
different though because if you take a look at the comics who are on it, these people all have 30, 45 minutes,
Yeah.
hours.
Yeah, they're probably
that
featuring.
are solid.
Yeah, they're probably featuring.
They're
yeah.
absolutely solid.
Right.
And it's not. No, they're headlining places too.
But yeah, but like. I
But
don't know.
like if you but
Listen, headline at place doesn't mean anything. I'm headlining a place tomorrow. That
That's
means nothing.
That's what. Yeah, that's what I mean. You know.
It means
no,
nothing.
but I'm saying if you actually have a draw at a club because you have like a little bit of steam, and this will help them get more steam.
I
for
agree
sure.
with what you're saying.
I think a 15-minute special is actually appropriate for now, unfortunately, because the attention span is fucking changed.
I think I'm having a problem with it being called a special.
Yeah.
Maybe they should make a new genre.
Oh, you have
of,
15 minutes? That's fucking special.
I don't
You
think.
sound like my mom right now.
Yeah,
Sarah.
I don't think it should be. They should find a new like thing for it, or if you put it in packages,
Let me
like if
throw-
you were like,
let
hey,
me throw this at you.
in
What the
order
fuck
to
do we
watch
call it?
this, right? In order to watch this, it should be like
Here's just-
4 people doing 15 minutes, a showcase that you would have.
Oh, okay,
but
call it a
just
showcase?
That's
Okay.
it. Here's a
Okay.
showcase,
Here's the comics that you want to be watching.
They might do that.
Here's 4 of them.
They might do
That's
that.
it. Not individual. Like, am I going to go on Netflix and go through everybody's 15 minutes and do that? They should be like, we're going to package all these people into like a 4-person thing,
right?
And then you can watch the whole thing as one thing.
Yeah,
but
you should do it that way.
Flooded now. Like, I feel like as comics, we follow every special that comes out, and we're like, oh, who's this asshole that got a special? I've never heard of them before.
I. Yeah, no, I just listen to the big ones like Chappelle and shit.
Right? No, but like,
do you watch everything that comes out on Netflix? Like,
no.
Okay, all right.
No,
but some people
that would be impossible.
Some people do though. No, it's
a lot of people do. No, there's a lot of people do. I
don't think it extends much further out than people who aren't comics, because then they're like, who?
Yeah.
I give
we're
people
nerds.
a shot.
We're fucking comedy.
Right. Yeah.
That's why we're like, I
give
have an
people
opinion
a
on
shot.
the 15-minute Netflix.
Yeah, that's true.
That's very true.
That's true.
No one else
I give
having
people
this
a shot. Sometimes you're glad you did. It's real. Like, I remember before I was doing comedy, and I started to get a little more interested in it, and then I ended up watching Jim Jeffries' special on HBO. Never heard him before in my life, and I was like, I haven't seen stand-up comedy in a long time.
That's a
and then I'm like looking through, and Jim Jeffries was one of the like newer ones. I was like, sure. And I watched it, and I remember being like, that's one of the funniest specials I think I've ever seen in my entire life.
Right.
And that was like shit luck that happened.
What was that, the Alcoholocaust one?
No, that was the one before that. I don't remember.
That wasn't the first one? The
Alcoholocaust, I think, was like the second.
Oh, was it really? Yeah, okay.
It was, now I can't remember.
I know what you're talking about. The first one was...
It was his HBO special. It was one of the first. I can't remember the name.
I need to look it up right now.
But I just remember some of the jokes on there. I just remember being like, this is great. And I just remember
Jim
loving
Jeffries
it.
is one of my favorite.
Yeah.
He's a beast.
Yeah.
One of his best jokes, I saw him at Foxwoods or Mohegan, one of the two, Foxwoods, and he did a joke where he was like, yeah, I've been dating this porn star, Sadie West, some of you might know her, blah, blah, blah. And then he goes, so, I was on the road, and I'm with a couple girls after the show, and she gives me a call, and he goes, I'm in the hotel room, and someone were like giggling in the background, and I'm going, shh, I'm on the phone with my girlfriend here. And he's going, blah, blah, blah.
I love this
and then
joke.
she goes, she goes something, she goes, fuck you, and hangs up the phone. He's like, oh shit. He goes, I was like telling the birds, he has that Australian English thing going on. And I tell a couple birds to be quiet. I'm like, shut up, I gotta call her back. So I call up. I go, hey, why'd you hang up on me? She goes, you know why I hung up on you? You had a couple. I could hear those girls giggling in the background. He goes, I'm sorry. How many cocks did you suck today? And she goes, that's different. That's my job. He goes, oh, yeah? They were giggling. That's my job. And
that's a
that
fucking great
place
joke.
exploded.
Right.
There wasn't one person in that room that was not dying laughing.
Right.
And everybody. It was one of the biggest jokes I've ever heard live, like just killed
The
hard.
special was called I Swear to God.
That's what it
Yeah,
was.
dude.
Yeah,
That was so
jokes.
fucking good,
Excellent jokes he had.
I'm just saying, though, for the average person, if there isn't a Netflix saying, here's who you need to watch, who's watching what?
Right. Okay.
Because there isn't a Comedy Central anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
It has what on it now? I don't.
Right.
They've done some half-hour things. They've tried to kind of revamp that. I think they've tried to get that going
Good.
again.
I'm
but it's
glad.
kind of fallen a little to the wayside a little bit because of Netflix.
Yeah.
Because they tried doing that. They tried doing a Brian Regan special live. They did do that.
Wow.
And that was a huge event because no one had done that before.
Right.
Like a network or doing something like that, doing
Right.
it live. Because a lot of people don't realize this, but who are comedy fans but not comedians. When you see a special, that's like 2 or 3 nights that they're doing that. And they're wearing the same clothes and they're telling the same jokes and then they piece it all together and they get the best laughs for each joke. Like, that a lot of people don't realize they kind of splice that together.
Don't ruin the magic.
But I know, but I'm saying a lot of people don't understand that that's not one night. That's like everything put together. Or a comedy album.
Sure.
You hear a comedy album and that's
it's
not...
4 nights. It's 4 nights of material.
And then they put it all together.
Everyone has a fucking comedy album now.
I know, yeah.
That's true. That's diluted
That's
to the point where it's not...
It's so watered down now. It's like,
I mean... You guys want to do a comedy album tonight? Let's go do it.
We could all
absolutely record it.
50.
I've been releasing it right now.
Oh, shit. The live comedy album?
Yeah.
Oh my god, this is like fucking what's his name? Dice's the Day the Laughter Died. Remember that?
No.
No, you never fucking heard
When
of that?
was that? 84.
That I don't know. I mean, it was.
I don't know.
It was when it was the album that he went
Not
up-
old enough to remember Building 19.
It was yeah. Jesus.
No,
Christ.
I was there for Andrew Dice Clay.
I'm plenty old enough to remember Building 19. I'm just saying I wasn't in an area where I ever drove by one
Right.
until I was older.
Well, anyway, the day the laughter died, dude, was like when he went up at Dangerfields and he did like a double album just with no material, and then that was the album when like he's like Bette Midler shits yodels, nobody believes me, and then the guy stands up.
Have you ever eaten a yodel?
The guy stands. A guy in the back. There's like 6 people there, and one of the guys stands up and he goes, "You're about as funny as a glass of milk," and he just walks out. It's fun, dude. It's absolutely hysterical.
Does that go down as the worst heckle ever?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah. It was very funny.
Have
man.
you ever gotten a really good heckle, bad heckle?
I occasionally enjoy hecklers.
I think sometimes it breaks up the monotony of your acts, or
Yeah.
if you're going through something, you're like, you know what? Good, let's do this.
I mean, there's a nice heckle. There's the
Oh, sure.
the person having fun
They're
who's
trying
just
to
shouting
help.
stuff
Yeah,
out.
yeah,
right,
yeah.
right, sure.
Right.
I like that. The occasional thing shouting out, thinking that they're helping, but it's like, by the way, I still have control of this. Thank you.
Yeah.
I think the worst heckles are the really drunk people who just can't even comprehend.
Yeah.
I had this girl go a couple weekends ago. She goes, "Listen."
Yeah.
And I like offended her. Listen. I was like, no, bitch, you listen. That's your only fucking job as an audience member is to listen right now. I'm from Woonsocket. Yeah, no shit. You're sounding like it.
Yeah, are you one of the lunch ladies at Woonsocket High? You fucking
Yeah.
pig. That's hilarious. I had a lady heckle me at a show, and like I really lost my shit. Like to the point where after the show I was like apologizing to people, like, "I'm sorry, that'll never happen again," blah blah blah. But after I tore this lady a new asshole, I got off stage and I went to the men's room, and she tried to follow me into the bathroom. Like not in like a you know what I'm saying? In like an almost like, "Whoa, you just put me in my place. Like I wanna talk to you real quickly." I was just like,
In the bathroom?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was very like.
She whip out her dick?
I thought she was going to. That's what I'm saying. I was like, "You can't come in here." She's like, "Oh, I just wanted to." I'm like, "No, nope. I'll see you later."
I just wanted to stab you.
She was way but she was way older and shit faced. You know what I mean? She was in her 50s and hammered. But it was weird. It was very weird. But I totally lost my fucking mind behind a microphone, and I was just like, "Wow, I didn't know I was capable of that."
Yeah.
The best one I ever
Holy
got
shit.
was at an open mic, and I was just trying out a new bit, and it was like touchy, but not too bad, I didn't think. And I got done with the bit, and the kid just went, "Boo." I go, "Did I just get a boo? I didn't get booed. I got a boo."
What up, boo?
Which was very unique. I thought. I was like,
That is-
I'll take it, I guess.
That is
and
funny.
it didn't matter. It was at an open mic. It didn't matter at all.
Like, who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
That's
I
awesome.
love it when you anticipate a heckle. When you're
Oh,
like,
yeah,
I'll
yeah,
probably
yeah.
get something here.
I will get a
And when I
response.
do, I'm going to say this. And then
Right.
someone falls into it and you go,
Right.
He's just like, "Yes,
Motherfucker.
I was waiting for you."
I induced your heckle.
Yeah, exactly.
I
I roped you in.
Well, yeah, I like sometimes I'll call people out on shit like in the front row or something when like they're visibly like uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, one time, like, no one said anything back. Like, I almost kind of heckled the dude. You know what I mean? It was just one
You heckled
thing.
your own set?
He just, yeah, pretty much.
Let me beat you to that. Boo, I hate you.
There's always that one
Let
person
me
who
meet you
sticks
do
out
that.
that everyone else is having fun. It's that one fucking person in the front, arms crossed, scowl on their face. What's your fucking problem?
No,
Like,
see, this guy was like his body language was tense, but he was doing like nervous laughter and like shifting and all, and I finally like it was noticeable to the people around him too. And I was like looking this way, and I was like, "Sir, do you want to say something?" And I just turned, and then I turned and looked right at him, and everyone just started dying. And he didn't say anything back, and I didn't address it any further.
Yeah.
And that was it. And it was fucking hilarious. You know what I mean?
Like, I don't know why I
was-
sat up front. Just
It was,
please
yeah,
don't
legit,
heckle me.
he was just like I forget what the hell I was talking about. Probably fucking shooting smack at the time or some crazy shit. You know what I mean? And he was just visibly uncomfortable.
I
You know?
forget. I think it was. I'm pretty sure it was like 90% sure it was Brian Regan was talking about hecklers, and he said he goes, first of all, he goes, if you get heckled, he was like, a solid like majority of the time, whatever they said is so stupid. Right, whatever they blurt out.
Right.
If you give that a second to sit and then just repeat what they said, that gets a massive laugh because it's terrible. Like it's not funny. It's shit.
That's
and it gives
genius.
you, and he goes, and it gives you the amount of time you need to come back with something that destroys them, and it's over.
Right.
Well,
He was like that. He goes, that happens so often. He goes, and then you got the microphone and they don't. And you always win.
Right.
99% of the time, the audience wants to be on your side about it.
Oh yeah.
And they're like, I'm like, they paid to see a show, not your stupid ass.
Right.
Like,
right.
I don't.
No, but see, I know what you're saying. Like, have fun with it. But like to that lady that fucking tried to follow me into the bathroom, like after
creepy.
No, not that though. But way before that, even like I took it to the point where I was like, all right, this lady deserves what she's got coming to her. So just give her a quick 1-2 and let it be over. But then I take it to the point where it's like, all right, now you're the asshole though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
so that's where. I don't know. I used to have some real bad fucking like temper issues. You know what I mean?
I would have let her have it if she was trying to follow me into the bathroom.
No,
Can you
but
imagine
that
if
was-
the roles reversed?
That was way after.
Yeah.
But that was way after I took it too far. You know what I mean? And like it just wasn't like people at first were clapping and laughing, and then after a while it was just dead silence and me screaming. You know what I mean? Just like
First it was fun, then he got mean.
That's what I'm saying. You know,
Right.
like I said, like now you're the asshole. You know,
Yeah.
and I make that an art form. To be honest with you, but
Being an asshole?
no, just taking it to the point where it's like, all right, you were in the right. Like you had this, dude. This was a layup, and you fucking just
Right.
came in and tried to fucking jam it and fucking popped it up into the fucking risers, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know.
Describe my art as assholistic.
Yeah, you know, kinda. But I'm working on it though. I'm working on it.
That's a decent comedy album name.
Yeah.
Assholistic.
You know what?
Like it's all
Dude,
natural.
I gotta share with
This
you.
is just me. This is who I am.
You reminded me because we brought up Regan a couple times. I got to share with you a joke that I heard. I forget where it might have been. Just like it wasn't even in like a special or on TV or anything, but I think it might have been on Stern. Like Seinfeld was on like Stern, and he was talking about how like when people leave the like. When someone leaves the Yankees and they go to the Red Sox, because he's in New York, obviously, right?
Yeah.
He's like, someone leaves the Yankees and they go to the Red Sox. And when he's a New York Yankee, you love the guy. He's the greatest ever, like, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, now he's a Red Sox. He's the same guy. He's just on a different team now. You can't stand the guy, right?
Yeah.
He's like, you understand you're rooting for clothing, right?
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
Seinfeld.
yeah, yeah.
Seinfeld does it, yeah.
That's what I just said.
But you
Yeah,
were saying we were talking about Regan. I don't know if this
No,
is Seinfeld.
Regan prompted me because he's a clean,
okay.
you know what I mean? He's one of those type of comics,
Yeah.
you know, like, and that was such a great joke. I was like, oh my god.
He goes,
that's
"You're
hilarious."
rooting for the laundry." That's
Right.
what it
Oh,
is.
right.
Okay,
Yeah.
right. You're rooting for the laundry.
You're
that's
rooting
right.
for the colors. You're rooting for that.
Yes,
You're
yes.
You're rooting for your city's clothes to be at the other city.
Right. Yeah, that's he's such a and Regan's the same. Like I don't know, that's such a genius thing. That heckler thing, like that's a genius like approach to take to it. But I would have never.
Like I love it when you
Would've never
can
thought
break
that.
when you break it down so much to the point where you're like, God, that was in front of everybody,
Right.
And somehow they found it. It was like Louis, his last special with 2017. He had
Right.
a joke about the year.
Oh, I know,
And
yeah,
it was
yeah.
amazing. And I was like, no one saw that. Like,
Right.
how did anybody not do that? I mean, he's like, he goes, like, the Christians won. He goes, what year is it? He goes, 2017, the year of the Lord. He goes, there you go. He goes, they won. He goes, it's over.
Damn.
And I was just like, wow, that was like so
Right.
there.
Yeah.
And there's no one, dilutes it or like breaks it down to the point where you like laugh at it.
Right. I get you. I love it. I love it.
That's like I think you told me this one. The joke about they said like, hey, what's the hardest part about leaving your wife and kids and going on the road?
That was Seinfeld.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he goes,
What's the hardest part of going on the road? Trying not to whistle when I pack.
that is so clean.
and
it's so neat. It's perfect.
Dude, it's perfect.
It is absolutely
How
spectacular.
about, do you ever hear Bill Burr? This is you know what? Actually, we're gonna do this joke. I don't give a fuck. Bill Burr does a joke about he's like my favorite bar sign I ever saw was somewhere in Texas, and it's a kind of a fucking misogynistic thing, whatever. But he's like it's just such a perfect joke, you know what I mean? And he's like, so anyway, I took a picture of the sign. I'm gonna read it to you, and the sign just says, "I like my beer like I like my violence." domestic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, he's like, dude, he's like, I'm sorry, I know it's a bad message, but he's like, you take one word out of that. you remove one word, and it doesn't work. You know, and it's just so funny. He's like, there is no fat on that joke. You know,
See, it's a weird thing that I don't think people can understand is like jokes. That's all they are. They're just jokes, and people take it to another level. But when you really respect the craft of a joke, you appreciate it that much more because it's something that's so like minute or something like literally like that was great.
Right.
Even though the message is like what like you said, it's like it's really a terrible thing to say. But the joke itself is phenomenal. Like you got to respect the fact that joke is just it hits
took you off guard, and it got you.
Right.
Like that's it.
And Chappelle talked
Let's
about.
not read into this further. It's not some sort of allegory to the fucking joke. It's
a
joke.
We're not going home and beating our wife and girlfriend.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like,
it's like Chappelle talked about Michael Richards when he went on his rant and dropped 1 million N-bombs and went on his whole thing.
Right.
And Chappelle goes, I think I'm more of a comedian than I am a black person because when it happened, I was like, that dude's just having a bad set. It was like, what can you do? Like he goes, he goes, I wasn't offended. I was just like, hey, dude, it happens to everybody. Having a bad night.
You know what Patrice said was Patrice O'Neal used to say, he's like the same, like a joke that lands and makes everyone laugh and the joke that pisses off everybody, he's like it comes from the same place. Like you were just trying to make someone laugh, you're trying to get a positive reaction out of a crowd, but he's like it comes from the same place regardless, so I don't know. What do you guys feel about it? It's almost 9:10. How do you feel about ending on that one?
I'm cool
that little
with it.
tidbit. All right, let's do some plugs and shit.
Yeah,
let's go around the table. We'll start with you, Sarah. Plug some shit. Yeah, whatever. Website, podcast, shows, all that shit.
Yeah, definitely the podcast, The Basic Bitches of Beantown.
Love it.
But Facebook makes us say Basic Bees because they won't let us advertise shit that
Still
way.
alliteration.
Yeah.
Whatever.
No, Basic Bees of Beantown. It's facebook.com/crazybasic. We have the podcast. I'd love to do a...
Swapcast?
Yes, a Swapcast with you guys. That'd be wicked fun with me and Jessica Lee. This Friday I'll be in Leominster, which whoever is around the area.
If you happen to be there.
Headlining that show at Joke in the Box. And then Saturday I'll be back in Boston at Doyle's Cafe. Kenise Mobley is going to headline. It's going to be an awesome show.
Cool. Fuck yeah. All right. What about you? You got shit coming up real soon, right?
Tomorrow, yeah. So what's that? The 8th? Yeah, tomorrow. Whatever, guys. Tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'll be at Zeph's Chichedi's.
Yeah. Where the fuck is that place?
It's across from the old Iron Furnace. It's like right next to Alba on Hancock Street.
Okay. Okay. So what's this? Is this a Sean Carter holdup?
No, I think this is the South Shore Boys.
Oh yeah.
Who James Corbett's headlining that show, so if you guys want to come back,
South Shore Boy, or
yeah, Joe's joining the South Shore Boys podcast. Apparently, I'm gonna be looking for a new co-host. Sarah.
Yeah, apparently, you know what? We're like, it's so funny because I think I'm pretty cool with them, and they couldn't hate you anymore. So it's so weird,
dude.
Anyway,
what? Okay.
Yeah, it's Zeph.
Okay, so what's the other one? Who does the other
so
one?
book that room. No, I have never done that place before. It was supposed to be good. I don't know. Whatever.
Right.
It's a new place, guys.
Okay.
In Quincy, I love going to Quincy.
Yeah.
Because of the South Shore. Me living on the South Shore, I don't have to go all the way to Boston.
You're now
to do comedy.
the fourth South Shore boy.
Yeah.
Love it.
No.
Now,
man.
So,
and John Harvard's will be headlining that show. That starts at 9 p.m.
So
and that is in
headshots you and the baby.
So
no,
Josh, the guy who did
great,
it,
right?
he goes, "Can I use this?" I go, "Yeah, sure. I don't give a shit."
That is great.
I love that.
That is great. Dude.
Here's me.
That's
that is
funny.
I would say if there's ever a photo that encapsulates my life as of right now, that definitely
right.
That's definitely it. So come check that out. And RDP is featuring, very funny dude,
my dude,
and
love him.
good
love
people
him.
Over there, and it's always a good time. So
cool. All right. I'm not doing nothing till well, actually, I got a show. I'm at Slum Brew on the 25th of February this month. That's a Sunday. It's in Somerville. I got a McGreevy spot. I don't know. That might be before that. It might be after that. I'm not sure. We'll check back in with them. I'll be doing McGreevy sometime soon, either this month or next. And then other than that, just follow us on social media and whatnot. We're at Attention Deaf Pod on Twitter and Instagram. at Attention Deficit Podcast on Facebook. So hit us up and like us on Facebook. And then email us, attentiondeficitpodcast@gmail.com. And, I don't know, subscribe, rate, and review, and all that shit. And, you know,
and swipe on Bumble.
I am a Bumble All-Star currently.
Actually, James, are you on Bumble still?
I'm on Bumble.
On Bumble
again? Oh, yeah. I'm back.
How you doing? Are you matching up?
Oh, my God. Yeah, it's a good time, dude.
My father-in-law called it Bubbles.
Bubble. No, that's a stripper that I had sex with a few times.
Was she a clown?
She had shoes that when she walked, the bubbles would spray. You know, remember those clown shoes?
No.
No?
But that sounds like a thing.
They had the bubble makers on the bottom that when they walked,
I get what you're saying. Yeah.
I thought that was like a lawnmower.
We have derailed.
Yeah, right? We got to get the fuck out of here. Yeah. So, yeah. Hit us all up on all social media platforms. You won't regret it. Thank you guys, as always, for listening. We'll check back in with you next Wednesday, a little after 7 p.m. Peace out.